Let's begin our journey into the vast collection of stories now known as Greek mythology. There's no place better to start than the beginning. In the beginning, there was only chaos, a void of emptiness and confusion. Chaos, the formless state of primordial emptiness, began to separate and shape itself into the fundamental elements of the universe. From this division, the earth, Gaia, emerged as a solid ground, nurturing and strong, and the mother of all life. Alongside her, Uranus, the encompassing sky, stretched far and wide. These two primordial beings, earth and sky, united to bring forth the Titans, grand and powerful entities, each embodying different aspects of the world. Among them were Oceanus, the endless stream encircling the land, and Rhea, the flow of fertility and motherhood. Their existence heralded a new era in the cosmos, where order began to form from chaos, and the cycle of day and night, creation and destruction, commenced in an eternal dance. As the Titans ruled, the world beneath them teemed with potential, awaiting the touch of life and the breath of destiny. In this celestial harmony, the seeds of future myths were sown, tales of gods and heroes, of love and wrath, all rooted in the sacred ground of a newly shaped universe. Out of the turbulent clash between the Titan Cronus and his father Uranus, the sea foamed and churned with divine power. From this celestial turmoil, Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, arose from the white foam of the sea. As she stepped gracefully onto the island of Cyprus, her divine presence commanded the natural world to bow in awe. Flowers sprang up under her feet, adorning the land with vibrant hues and sweet scents. The air around her shimmered with a gentle warmth, and the breeze carried the soft melody of her enchanting aura. Aphrodite's very essence was a balm to the heart and soul, soothing the troubles of both gods and mortals, and spreading joy and desire wherever she roamed. Her arrival brought a balance to the burgeoning world, introducing love's tender bond as a counter to the raw strength and ambition of her divine relatives. In Aphrodite's realm, the world found the gentle touch of beauty, the stirring of hearts, and the tranquil peace of companionship. Among the Titans, Prometheus stood out for his wisdom and foresight. Observing the struggles of mankind, toiling in darkness and cold, he felt a profound compassion. Against the wishes of the supreme god Zeus, Prometheus ventured into the divine realm and stole fire, a treasure of the gods, bringing it back to earth for humanity. This gift of fire was more than mere flame. It was the light of knowledge, the warmth of hope, and the spark of innovation. With it, humans learned to cook, to forge metal, to craft and create. The night, once full of dread, now glowed with the comforting light of hearths and campfires. Stories and songs rose in the air, weaving the tapestry of human culture and civilization. Prometheus's act of defiance was not without consequence, leading to his legendary punishment. Yet, the fire he gifted remained with humanity, a lasting legacy of his empathy and courage, burning as a symbol of progress and enduring through the ages. In the lush, green forests of ancient Greece, the story of Echo, a loquacious nymph with a beautiful voice, unfurls. She was cursed by Hera, the queen of the gods, to only repeat the words of others, a fate that led her to a solitary life amidst the rustling leaves and whispering streams. Her path crossed with Narcissus, a youth of unparalleled beauty and pride, who spurned the affections of all who loved him. Echo, upon seeing Narcissus, fell deeply in love, but could only express her feelings through the reflections of his own words. Narcissus, however, was unmoved, lost in the admiration of his reflection in a still, clear pool. He became so enraptured by his own image that he could not tear himself away, leading to his tragic demise. And from the earth where he perished sprang the narcissus flower, a symbol of self-love and beauty. Pandora, crafted by the divine hands of Hephaestus, was more than a mere mortal. She was a masterpiece of the gods, imbued with grace, beauty, and curiosity. Each god and goddess bestowed upon her a gift, shaping her to be the epitome of all that is both wondrous and challenging in humanity. Athena clothed her in garments as radiant as the morning sun. Aphrodite breathed into her the charm that stirs desire. And Hermes, the messenger god, gifted her speech, filled with cunning and allure. Zeus, the king of the gods, presented her with a mysterious jar, a container sealed with divine providence. It was a wedding gift, as she was to be wed to Epimetheus, Prometheus's brother, who accepted her despite his brother's warnings to beware gifts from Zeus. The jar, an object of divine artistry and celestial enigma, became Pandora's obsession. The gods, in their intricate weaving of fate, had instilled in her an insatiable curiosity. One day, unable to resist the lure of the unknown, Pandora opened the jar, releasing a torrent of evils, sickness, death, turmoil, strife, forces that plagued humanity ever since. Yet, all was not lost, for as Pandora hastily closed the jar to stop the deluge of calamities, one thing remained inside: Elpis, the spirit of hope. This delicate creature, with its resilient wings and gentle light, stayed with Pandora, symbolizing the enduring human spirit and the gods' final gift, a reminder that even in the darkest torrents of hardship, hope is ever present, a beacon of light guiding towards better days. Hercules, son of Zeus and the mortal Alcmene, was known not only for his extraordinary strength, but also for his challenging life, marked by the notorious 12 labors he undertook as penance for a grievous act, driven by Hera's madness. These labors, a series of tasks set by King Eurystheus, were feats so perilous and arduous that they seemed impossible for any mortal to achieve. Hercules was tasked with slaying the lion with impenetrable skin. He triumphed by strangling it with his bare hands, later wearing its skin as armor. A monstrous serpent with many heads needed to be slain. Each head cut off would only sprout new ones. Hercules defeated it with the aid of his nephew Aeolus, cauterizing the necks to prevent them from regrowing. He was also expected to capture a golden-horned deer sacred to Artemis, the god of the hunt. Hercules captured it after a year-long chase, careful not to harm the creature, thus showcasing not only strength, but also reverence for the divine. And so he continues. Through each of the labors, Hercules demonstrated not just brute strength, but cunning, endurance, and occasionally mercy, solidifying his place as one of the most complex heroes in Greek mythology. Zeus, the king of the gods, ascended to power after overthrowing his father, Cronus, in a cosmic battle that shook the heavens. His reign marks a pivotal era in Greek mythology, where the Olympian gods established their dominion over the world. Zeus, ruler of the sky and thunder, was not only a symbol of divine authority, but also of justice and order. His governance of the universe was marked by his wise yet often tumultuous interactions with both gods and mortals. His numerous liaisons led to the birth of many gods and heroes, each with their own tales that wove into the larger tapestry of mythological lore. Despite his flaws, such as his temper and infidelity, Zeus maintained order in the cosmos, upholding the laws that governed gods and men alike. Zeus's battles, like the Titanomachy, where he led the Olympians against the Titans, and the Gigantomachy, the struggle against the giants, were not merely physical confrontations, but represented the clash of old and new orders, chaos versus stability. Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of harvest and fertility, lived a serene life until she caught the eye of Hades, the god of the underworld. The abduction of Persephone by Hades, who desired her as his queen, is a narrative rich with symbolism, representing the eternal cycle of the seasons and the balance between life and death. As Persephone descended into the underworld, the earth experienced the first autumn and winter, for Demeter, in her grief, withheld the fruits of the earth. This myth explains the seasonal cycles, as Persephone's time, above and below ground, corresponds with the blooming of spring and summer when she is reunited with her mother, and the decline of autumn and winter during her time in the underworld. Arachne, a mortal woman, was renowned for her weaving skills, so much so that she dared to challenge Athena, goddess of wisdom and crafts, to a contest. Arachne's hubris set the stage for a tale of pride, talent, and transformation. Her tapestry, depicting the god's flaws, was a masterpiece of artistry and audacity. Athena's response, a tapestry showcasing the god's power and benevolence, revealed the divine perspective. The contest, while displaying the height of mortal skill, also highlighted the dangerous line between pride and respect for the gods. Athena, incensed by Arachne's insolence, yet impressed by her artistry, transformed her into a spider, condemning her to weave eternally, a symbol of both punishment and immortalization of her talent. Arachne's story serves as a cautionary tale about human limitations and the consequences of challenging divine authority. Yet it also acknowledges the extraordinary potential of human artistry and ingenuity. In the dawning age of city-states, Athens was without a patron deity. Poseidon, god of the sea, and Athena, goddess of wisdom, both aspired to claim the city. To decide, they agreed that each would present a gift to the Athenians, who would then choose their patron based on these gifts. Poseidon struck the earth with his trident, creating a spring to offer the city water, but it was salty and impractical. Athena, on the other hand, planted an olive tree, symbolizing peace and prosperity. The olive tree provided food, oil, and wood, gifts that were far more valuable and sustainable for the city's growth. Impressed by Athena's wisdom and the utility of her gift, the citizens of Athens chose her as their patron deity. This marked the beginning of Athens' ascent as a center of wisdom, culture, and democratic ideals, reflective of Athena's attributes. The city's name itself commemorates her patronage, and the story encapsulates the values and identity of what would become one of the most influential cities in ancient Greece. Orpheus, the legendary musician whose melodies could charm all living things and even inanimate objects, faced profound sorrow when his beloved wife, Eurydice, died. Grief-stricken, he descended to the underworld to retrieve her. Charming Cerberus, the three-headed dog, and even softening the hearts of Hades and Persephone with his lament. Granted the chance to bring Eurydice back to the world of the living, Orpheus was instructed not to look back until they reached the surface. However, moments before the journey's end, doubt crept in. He turned to look at her, causing Eurydice to vanish back into the shadows of the underworld forever. Orpheus' story, steeped in love, loss, and the ephemeral nature of life, is a poignant narrative that explores themes of trust, the inevitability of death, and the transformative power of art and music, providing a hauntingly beautiful conclusion to the tale of love's transcendent yet tragic nature. Medusa, once a beautiful maiden, was transformed into a gorgon, with serpents for hair and a gaze that turned onlookers to stone, as a curse from Athena following a desecration of her temple. This transformation marked the beginning of Medusa's tragic fate, as she became an icon of terror and vengeance. Her story converges with that of Perseus, the hero fated to behead her. Using a mirrored shield provided by Athena, Perseus approached Medusa without meeting her deadly gaze, decapitating her in her sleep. Medusa's severed head retained its petrifying power, symbolizing the enduring potency of her wrath and the tragic permanence of her curse, illustrating how the lines between hero and monster can blur, encapsulating the tragic essence of Medusa's existence. Daedalus, the master craftsman and inventor, was celebrated for his ingenuity and skill. His most famous creation, the labyrinth, designed to imprison the Minotaur, stands as a testament to his architectural genius. However, his narrative is also one of tragedy and cunning escape, intertwined with the fate of his son, Icarus. Imprisoned by King Minos to keep the secret of the labyrinth, Daedalus crafted 2 sets of wings from feathers and wax for himself and Icarus, planning their flight from Crete. Daedalus warned Icarus not to fly too close to the sun or the sea. Yet, in the exhilaration of flight, Icarus ascended too high, melting the wax in his wings, leading to his fall into the sea. Daedalus's tale, from his creative triumphs to his personal losses, encapsulates the human drive for freedom and the profound impact of ingenuity and invention. King Midas, known for his greed and his wish for the golden touch, was granted the ability by Dionysus to turn everything he touched into gold. Initially delighted, Midas soon realized the curse of his boon when food and drink turned to gold in his hands, and his beloved daughter became a golden statue upon his embrace. In despair, he begged Dionysus to remove the curse, who instructed him to wash in the river Pactolus. The river's sands turned golden, symbolizing the transfer of Midas's touch. This story, rich in moral and mythological significance, illustrates the dangers of greed and the transformative power of remorse, highlighting the dual nature of blessings and the importance of wisdom and moderation in desire. Sisyphus, the cunning king of Corinth, was famed for his trickery, which ultimately led to his downfall. His greatest deceit was cheating death twice, offending Zeus and tricking Thanatos, death personified, causing havoc as no one could die until Ares intervened. As punishment for his hubris and offenses against the divine order, Sisyphus was condemned to roll a massive boulder up a hill in the underworld, only for it to roll down each time he neared the top. This eternal, fruitless labor symbolizes the human condition of relentless struggle and the futility of defying the natural order, embodying the themes of ambition, deceit, and the consequences of pitting mortal wits against divine will. The Trojan War, a pivotal event in Greek mythology, was sparked by the divine quarrel that led to the judgment of Paris, resulting in the infamous abduction of Helen by Paris of Troy. This 10-year siege of Troy by the Greek forces intertwined the fates of gods and mortals, showcasing the complexities of divine and human interactions. Epic battles, strategic brilliance, and tragic heroes defined the war, from Achilles' wrath and Hector's nobility to the cunning of Odysseus and the sacrifice of Iphigenia. The war culminated in the ingenious strategy of the Trojan horse, leading to Troy's downfall. The Trojan War, rich in tales of valor, betrayal, love, and loss, serves as a monumental narrative of human folly and divine caprice. Perseus, one of the foremost heroes in Greek mythology, embarked on a quest to decapitate Medusa, the Gorgon with snakes for hair, whose gaze turned men to stone. Armed with gifts from the gods, including Hermes' winged sandals, Hades' helm of invisibility, and a reflective shield, Perseus successfully navigated the dangers of the Gorgon's lair and achieved his mission, using Medusa's head as a powerful weapon in subsequent adventures, including rescuing Andromeda from a sea monster. Perseus's exploits blend the elements of divine assistance, mortal courage, and the triumph over seemingly impossible challenges. Theseus, the Prince of Athens, volunteered to end the tribute of 7 young men and 7 women sent to Crete to be devoured by the Minotaur, a monster half-man, half-bull. Navigating the labyrinth with the help of Ariadne's thread, Theseus slew the Minotaur, symbolizing the triumph of humanity and intellect over brute force and fear. His journey back to Athens, marred by forgetfulness that led to his father's tragic suicide, adds a layer of complexity to his character, blending heroism with human fallibility. Theseus's adventures, including his various exploits and eventual kingship of Athens, showcase themes of courage, cleverness, and the consequences of action and inaction. Apollo, son of Zeus and Leto, and twin brother of Artemis, was a deity of many facets, embodying light, music, medicine, and prophecy. His birth on the island of Delos, after a perilous journey due to Hera's jealousy, marked the arrival of a significant divine figure. Apollo's quests, including his establishment of the oracle at Delphi, his tragic love stories, and his role as the archer god, reflect the complexity of his character as a bringer of plague and healing, and as a patron of the arts and oracle wisdom. The Moirai, or Fates, were 3 powerful sisters who controlled the destiny of both mortals and gods. Clotho, who spun the thread of life, Lachesis, who measured it, and Atropos, who cut it. Their influence pervaded every aspect of existence, from the moment of birth to death. The Fates underscored the concept of predestined life paths and the limited power of gods and humans to alter the course of destiny, representing the inevitability of life's cycle and the mystery of the universe's laws. Hera, the queen of the gods, was known for her jealousy, particularly concerning Zeus's numerous affairs and offspring. Her wrath led to various mythological conflicts and vendettas, notably against Hercules, Zeus's son with a mortal woman whom she tormented since birth. Hera's actions, driven by her sense of betrayal and quest for justice within her divine marriage, highlight themes of loyalty, vengeance, and the complex dynamics of divine relationships. Dionysus, the god of wine, festivity, and ecstasy, traveled across Asia and Europe, introducing viticulture and spreading his cult. His journey was marked by resistance and acceptance, reflecting the dual nature of his persona, from benevolent provider of wine and joy to the unleasher of madness and chaos. Dionysus's followers, including the Maenads and Satyrs, and his encounters, such as with King Pentheus, who opposed his worship, illustrate the transformative and disruptive power of his influence and the concept of liberation through ecstasy and surrender. Achilles, the greatest warrior of the Greeks during the Trojan War, was central to Greek victory and experienced both glory and sorrow. His rage over the seizure of his war prize, Perseus, and the subsequent withdrawal from battle led to numerous Greek losses. Yet, his return to combat following the death of his close friend Patroclus marked a turning point. Achilles' slaying of Hector, the noble Trojan prince, and his eventual death from an arrow to his heel, the only vulnerable part of his body, encapsulate the hero's might and mortal vulnerability, illustrating the paradox of invincibility and inevitable fate. Hestia, the goddess of the hearth and domesticity, is often overlooked in the tales of Olympian deities, yet her presence was integral to the daily lives of both gods and mortals. Renouncing her seat among the Olympians in favor of Dionysus to maintain peace, Hestia's essence is one of stability, community, and the sanctity of home and family. Her constant, calming presence provided the gods and humans with a sanctuary, embodying the ideals of hospitality and familial harmony. Heracles, after completing his 12 labors and many other trials, was granted immortality by the gods and ascended to Olympus upon his death. His mortal life was fraught with challenges, both physical and emotional, yet his enduring strength and moral integrity eventually led him to divine status. Heracles' journey from suffering and struggle to eternal glory highlights themes of redemption, the hero's journey, and the thin line between human and divine.